Many years ago, Pastor Carlos Reed created the Hope Center on Thompson Boulevard to assist in bringing hope to the hopeless.
But now that phase one of the new Hope Center and the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center is completed, the Ministry of Youth is now requesting that occupants of the old building vacate forthwith. LaDawn Davis picks up the story from here.
Roll lived at the Hope Center, a place for the hopeless, a place to get young men back on track.
Because it was where I live and work at the same time, it could grow, so it was really convenient.
The Hope Center is a modern community center that offers programs like Youth Against Violence, Summit Ministries, Operation Redemption, and the list goes on. But it's the content of this letter that could cut off hope for the hopeless. And after countless notices, pastor of the Hope Center, Carlos Reed, has to now vacate the old Hope Center building on Thompson Boulevard and remove all of the derelict vehicles scattered across the premises, effective immediately. Reed says he knew this day would come, but the lack of finances and resources brought about some major setbacks.
I sent a letter that was signed by the DPS of the Ministry of Youth asking us to vacate our old facility immediately. I responded with a letter to the now Minister of Youth telling him that, we have been doing the best that we can, and we still need some resources to complete our move.
To make a full transition from the old building to the new state-of-the-art center in the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center, Reed says an additional $260,000 will be needed to finish the final phase. Reed added that more than $300,000 was already spent to complete phase one of the project.
But the billion-dollar question is, what will happen to this building in a matter of weeks?
I think is going to be used as green space. One of the problems why we were given this property was because the administration, the government felt that we were not looking well to entrance of the brand new stadium. So they wanted us to exit, and at the same time, I think that God created an opportunity for us to upgrade our facility and be able to be a first-class community center.
Now, the old Hope Center here on Thompson Boulevard has been the home for two young men for many years. One of the men has relocated, the other is still uncertain about his future.
I'm not living at the Hope Center anymore. I still be here in the night because they already grow that sense of what I should say, trust. I've moved back home with my grandmother, so I still have the key to the building, so I can come in and out whenever I want, whenever I feel like working. I can work evenings or day, so it has that flexibility. Doesn't bother me yet because we still have someone living across there, so we gotta check on him. But like I say, where the government moved us, I like the property where we are. Yes, the housing facilities gotta come so when other guys who need somewhere to live, they could find somewhere to be.
Pastor Reed says he will not let this one incident distract him from completing phase two of the project by year's end. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Two male bodies were found in Andros waters yesterday. Police say the men found floating just 12 miles off Morgan's Bluff appear to be Caucasian. Defense Force officers acting on a tip went to the area, recovering the bodies around 3:45 in the afternoon. An investigation is ongoing.
A three-day forestry management training session is taking place at the Bahamas National Trust this week. The sessions will equip those working on a special forestry project focusing on how to harvest timber from Bahamian pine forest in a sustainable way for community use. Minister of Environment Kendra Dorset officially opened the sessions today.
I felt that it was absolutely critical to extend that training to those who work within the government, civil servants. And so as a result, officers within the Department of Environmental Health Services, as well as the BESS Commission, were included in this training exercise to ensure that we build capacity within government for the management of our resources.
Area and Sikin International Food and Agriculture representatives believe that the pine forest product from the Bahamas is of good quality and has not been harvested in about 60 years. And Eric Carey, Managing Director of the Bahamas National Trust, said he believes this project would bode well for the Bahamas.
We're now trying to set up a local economy that we can use the pine for timber within the Bahamas, that we get less dependent on imports, that we Also have other products like shingles for houses, charcoal, all different possibilities for this pine product.
Projects. I don't envision our forest being used to make 2x4 for construction. What we envision is training local people so they can use the pine to make things like high-end furniture. You know, maybe you could buy a 10x10 Abaco pine ceiling or an Abaco pine floor, which would be a high-end project.
National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage admits that 2012 was indeed a year which tested the courage, strength, and resilience of the police force. Hundreds of police officers, along with officials of other law enforcement agencies, came together in worship on Sunday to reflect on the past year and to ask God's guidance in the year ahead. Minister Nottage said he's pleased with the work of the officers, especially those who sacrifice themselves on the front lines every day. Moving forward, Dr. Nottage pledged more focused attention on addressing the root causes of crime.
I am satisfied at the saturation patrol strategy that saw the island of New Providence with a blitz of these police vehicles along with the deployment of senior officers in the field, which has contributed in a significant way to reduction in criminal activities also during the holidays. Going forward, a fundamental thrust of our ministry will be to give focused attention to addressing the root causes of crime. We need to have a better understanding of the reasons for the lawlessness in our society and the apparent lack of sensitivity of so many of our citizens to lawlessness. All of us have a role to play in preventing crime, and the police force must play a pivotal role in this effort as you are on the ground in our communities.
Now, while acknowledging the police are doing their part in tackling crime, Bahamas Christian Council President Reverend Ranford Patterson says more needs to be done when it comes to enforcing the laws of the land, especially the blatant disrespect for the rules of the street.
Too many of us are getting away with breaking the laws of our country. I know you're stretched. I know the government is stretched, Minister. But I believe if enough of officers are placed in strategic place, especially on Carmichael, you can raise enough money to pay the salaries.
The country gets ready for the Carifta Championships. That's just months away. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.